Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to draw a graph using Sigma plot. So here's the contingency table that you've already seen. And we need to do one more thing to make the graph a little more interesting. So what I'm going to get you to do in this column here is just to type the words sham and stroke. Okay, just in column 3. Now as we've seen, you can create a graph by clicking here. If you click on Graph Wizard, what you're going to need is to select vertical bar chart, click Next, and then stacked bars, click Next. And in this case we have 2 columns of data, and this is referred to as many Y. If you click Next there, it's now asking for your first column of data, so you click 1 there. Now it wants your second column of data, so you click 2 there, and finish. And here's your graph, which doesn't look terribly exciting. So some of the things you can do, if you double click here, now you can ask it in this box here to specify column 3. And what you should see straight away is this is how it was originally, and the columns are just labeled 1 and 2, but what you really want is for them to be labeled sham and stroke. Okay, now you can make them a little bit bigger. Let's say font 2, and so you can see here they're now bigger. Now suppose that you would like to say that these were surgery types. You can double click X data and you can write surgery type. Okay, now in a publication such as in the British Journal of Pharmacology, you don't need a title on your graph because that will be in the figure legend. So you can delete this, and then you can tinker with this some more. So for example, you see in the sham group 11 out of 11 lacked an ATF3 band, whereas in the stroke group 8 out of 11 contained an ATF3 band. So I'll leave you to figure out how to click on these things to change the colors. But just the final thing, if you double click here, you can change this wording to number, for example, because this is the number of samples that either had or that had or lacked a band. This is your legend. You can click here, you can drag it somewhere useful, like so. So I would still say this graph is a pretty mediocre and boring graph, and you can do a lot more work to make this appealing to the eye, like color coding the bars, by changing the axes perhaps so that 1, 2, 3, 4 is shown all the way up to 12 rather than just the even numbers. And you can do all this just by playing around with this panel here, or by double clicking aspects of it to highlight the bit you'd like to change. So I'll leave you to play around with it, but this has all the key information in it. Good luck!